One simple mowing mistake destroys thousands of lawns every year. The worst part? In the next few minutes in their grass, I'll show you exactly what this mistake is and how to avoid it.
Don't make this 500er lawn mistake. Every spring, homeowners across the country roll out their mowers, fertilizer spreaders, and garden hoses with the best of intentions. They want a lawn that looks like it belongs on the cover of a home improvement magazine. Yet year after year, lawn care professionals report the same recurring story. A well-meaning homeowner makes one small, seemingly harmless decision that ends up costing hundreds of dollars to fix. According to several turf specialists, this single mistake is so common and so expensive that it deserves its own warning label. The mistake: cutting grass. Too short, too soon. The culprit isn't a rare disease, a hidden pest, or an exotic weed. It's something far more mundane: mowing the lawn too short, especially early in the growing season. Homeowners often believe that if they cut the grass shorter, they'll need to mow less often, saving time and effort. It seems logical on the surface. Unfortunately, this shortcut can trigger a cascade of problems that culminate in a lawn that requires complete renovation, a project that landscaping companies say frequently runs $400 to $600 or more, depending on the size of the yard and the extent of the damage. Turf experts explain that grass blades function like solar panels. The blade captures sunlight and converts it into energy through photosynthesis, which fuels root development, disease resistance, and the plant's ability to recover from stress. When a homeowner scalps the lawn, cutting it down to an inch or less, the plant loses most of its photosynthetic surface area in one pass. The grass responds by diverting stored energy from its root system to regrow leaf tissue as quickly as possible. Over time, this constant redirection of energy weakens the roots, leaving them shallow and unable to access deeper moisture and nutrients in the soil. Why this single decision spirals into a costly problem. A lawn with a compromised root system becomes vulnerable in several ways almost immediately. First, it loses its ability to compete with weeds. Weeds like crabgrass and dandelions are opportunistic. They thrive on bare soil and weakened turf, seizing the openings that overly short grass leaves behind. Once weeds establish themselves, they spread aggressively, often requiring repeated herbicide applications or professional weed control services to bring the lawn back under control. Second, scalped lawns become far more susceptible to heat and drought stress because the root system never developed the depth needed to pull water from lower soil layers. The grass dries out faster during hot spells. Homeowners often respond by watering more frequently, which can lead to fungal diseases such as brown patch or dollar spot, especially in humid climates. These diseases can kill off large sections of turf, leaving unsightly brown patches that no amount of watering will fix. Third, and perhaps most costly, is the increased vulnerability to pest damage. Insects such as grubs and chinch bugs are drawn to weakened, stressed turf. A robust lawn with deep roots can often tolerate a moderate insect population without visible damage, but a scalped, stressed lawn has no reserves to fall back on. Once an infestation is well established, homeowners may need to treat the entire yard with insecticide and, in severe cases, replace large sections of dead sod. By the time many homeowners realize something is wrong, they aren't just dealing with a mowing height problem. They're dealing with the compounded effects of weed invasion, fungal disease, and pest damage, three separate problems that together quickly push repair costs into the hundreds of dollars. Landscaping professionals note that comprehensive lawn renovations, which may include aeration, dethatching, overseeding, top dressing, and new sod in damaged areas, commonly range from $300 to over $1,000 depending on the property size and regional labor costs. A $500 price tag for correcting the damage caused by months of improper mowing is not unusual at all. The simple fix that costs nothing. The good news is that avoiding this expensive mistake requires no special equipment, no additional spending, and only a modest adjustment in mindset. Lawn care experts consistently recommend following the 1/3 rule. Never remove more than 1/3 of the grass blade's total height in a single mowing session. If a lawn is meant to be maintained at 3 inches, for example, it should be mowed before it exceeds 4.5 inches, taking off no more than 1.5 inches at a time. Ideal mowing heights vary by grass type. Cool season grasses such as Kentucky bluegrass, tall fescue, and perennial. Ryegrass generally perform best when kept between 2.5 and 4 inches tall. Warm season grasses like Bermuda, zoysia, and St. Augustine tend to prefer shorter heights, often in the 1 to 3 inch range, though even these species suffer when cut too aggressively or too frequently in short bursts. Maintaining a taller mowing height offers several benefits beyond simply avoiding damage. Taller grass shades the soil surface, which helps retain moisture and suppresses weed seed germination by blocking the sunlight weeds need to sprout. It also encourages deeper root growth, since the plant has more leaf surface area to fuel photosynthesis and, in turn, more energy to invest below ground. A lawn with deep, healthy roots is naturally more resistant to drought, disease, and pest pressure, which means less money spent on emergency treatments down the line. Additional habits that protect the investment. Beyond mowing height, a few complementary habits can further protect a lawn from the kind of damage that leads to costly renovations. Keeping mower blades sharp is essential. Dull blades tear grass rather than cutting it cleanly, and torn tissue is more vulnerable to disease and moisture loss. Many homeowners go an entire season without sharpening their blades, unknowingly stressing their lawn with every pass of the mower. Watering deeply but infrequently is another important practice. Frequent, shallow watering encourages roots to stay near the surface, compounding the very problem that scalping creates. Instead, professionals recommend watering less often but for longer periods, allowing moisture to soak deeper into the soil and encouraging roots to grow downward in search of it. Timing also matters. Mowing during the hottest part of the day, or mowing a lawn that is already stressed from drought, can compound damage. Early morning or early evening mowing, when temperatures are cooler, tends to be gentler on the turf. Finally, leaving grass clippings on the lawn after mowing, a practice known as grass cycling, can return valuable nitrogen and organic matter to the soil, reducing the need for synthetic fertilizer and helping the lawn recover more quickly from the stress of regular cutting. A lesson in patience. Ultimately, the story behind this widely reported 500 lawn mistake is a lesson in patience. The temptation to mow less often, to cut things shorter to save time later, is understandable, but it works against the natural biology of grass rather than with it. Lawn care specialists emphasize that consistent, moderate mowing, done more frequently but never removing too much at once, is far more effective and far cheaper than an aggressive cut followed by months of chasing weeds, disease, and dead patches. For homeowners who want a lawn that looks professionally maintained without a professional-sized bill, the advice is refreshingly simple. Raise the mower deck, follow the 1/3 rule, and let the grass do what it's naturally built to do. It costs nothing, and it may be the single most effective step toward avoiding an expensive and entirely preventable lawn disaster.